In this episode of What is Most Interesting in FinTech, we are sitting down with Grigorii Trubkin, managing partner of 1802 Ventures, based in US, to delve into the dynamic intersections of FinTech, SpaceTech, and synthetic biology. As a seasoned investor with a keen eye on emerging technologies, Grigorii will share insights on the latest market trends, the art of deal structuring, and the challenges and opportunities in the secondary market for the pre-IPO projects. Join us for a deep dive into how 1802 Ventures is shaping the future. Welcome, Grigorii, to our show.
Hi, Nadira. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invitation, and good to see you.
How are you
Long
feeling
time.
today? Yes.
Very good. So, do I look like I don't feel good? No, or what?
Now you feel
I'm
super,
okay.
super
Thanks
good.
for asking. Yeah. How
Yeah,
are you?
okay. Thank you for being nice to me. So
Yeah.
let's start our show. So actually, before inviting you to this interesting podcast about fintech, as a venture capitalist, as an investor, as a super kind of a top-notch financial professional, like on a C level, can you kindly tell me about the market trends? So, I mean, you have an extensive experience across various sectors. What are some of the most exciting trends you are seeing right now in fintech, space tech, and synthetic biology? How do these trends influence your
Uh,
investment strategy at 1802 Ventures?
well, so speaking about trends, in general, what I see is that all venture funds now focus on existing portfolio companies. So, the more fundraising going to the same companies which already were funded by funds. So, what I'm telling about is the size of this round. They getting bigger, but amount of them getting smaller. So, which means that funds just in this turbulent environment, they're just trying to support, let's say, survived companies and do not spread their capital among the industries, in general. So, in terms of fintech, well, the main trends, I think, pretty much the same. So all the DeFi stuff, blockchain stuff, people trying to integrate it. At least they're stating that they're trying to integrate it. So, but still, we see a lot of good projects, but we don't invest in them. So to be honest, so in our previous funds, we invest heavily in fintech. But in my opinion, let's say
So
it this way.
you think that, sorry for you think that
Yeah,
fintech is oversaturated now, so that's why you switched your attention now, like focus to a more
kind of.
interesting
Uh,
sector.
it is not like about oversaturation. It was oversaturated in 2022, in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
especially. So how many startups which issued, like various types of cards do you know? So,
Yeah.
like thousands of them. And speaking about innovation, so there are like two types of them. So one for the whole humanity, and the other type is just copy pasting it, these
Yeah.
innovations from the fields where they already evolved to like areas where they just about to be like to become like a developed market. So what I'm talking about is like in terms of fintech, where I would, let's say, what geographies I would look at. So of course it's Africa,
Mm-hmm.
it's um, like Pacific Ocean countries, so Oceania, and Latin America, of course. But so it is not something like super new. Yeah, so it is just like a question of adapting existing technologies to current markets, not current markets, to particular markets, to particular geographies. And so the reason why we shifted from fintech to other industries is that we would like to invest in something which is like reshaping the world, like the whole world, not like particular geographies. So yeah.
So, okay, but in this volatile economic environment, structuring deals can be challenging. And also, could you also walk us through your approach to deal structuring at 1802 Ventures? And what are the key elements that ensure a deal success in today's market?
Well, the deal structure in itself, I wouldn't say that it like changed anyhow. So still like setting up an SPV for a company you like, and then collect money and then fund companies. What we're looking at right now, so in terms of deal structuring, for some kind of additional protection, maybe it's like liquidation preferences. If there is no liquidation preferences, so we're looking for some, let's say, upside boosters, some kind of cash plus warrants, some kind of, like options. Well, something like this. If in 2021 on the market, what did we saw? We saw actually like it was seller's market. Let's put it this way: companies raising like new rounds at unicorn valuation, and all investors are staying and waiting for a call from this company. So we're ready to receive your money. Now it's not the case anymore. Now investors much more picky, and so when you're structuring the deal with the fund, so we're talking from startup perspective, you need to be ready to give some like additional, like motivation for investor to get in, some level of protection. And I'm talking about even about talking about space industry or like biotech industry. It is there, but in fintech, it should be even more, because this ocean is like extremely red now, so it is not like a blue ocean. Yeah.
So you mentioned about this SpaceTech and like deep tech technologies. Can you just like tell more about this? And I know that you are really passionate about it. And also I saw like lots of podcasts and really prominent podcasters also inviting you for this, because now you are right. So fintech is booming. It has been booming all the time. But many VCs or investors can go to space tech and deep tech, because you should have a kind of a deep understanding about the sector, right? So,
Well, in my opinion, let's say VC job, what is it about? So it is about like seeing the future, how we want it to be, right? And just finding people who can deliver the future, like parts of this future in terms of technology and like product services. And so in space tech, pretty much the same like in any other industry. But so what you need to have like deep expertise in engineering, for example. And to be honest, I have some, but it's not like super deep. So that's why we have our analytical team and our several guys with deep experience from SpaceX, for example, from NASA, and they're helping us to not to answer question whether this product will be in high demand in 5 years. So that's our job as a VC. But to answer questions like, is it possible to deliver this product? Is it possible to make it, to produce? Do it to make it happen, for example. Yes, so basic materials. So yeah, to invest in space tech fields, you need to answer these two questions. So is it possible? And if it is, so will somebody buy it?
Yeah, and also talking about your deal floor, can you walk us through regarding your like successful deals that you have so successfully closed, and why you are super passionate about that type of projects?
Well, so our pipeline is divided in two areas, not like areas, branches. Let's put it this way. So the first one is, let's say, basic layer. What I mean here. So first thing we needed to resolve was how to deliver a lot of good, and how to deliver a lot of weight on the orbit. Yep. And SpaceX and many other companies successfully resolved this problem. So the price, the cost of delivering 1 kilo to the orbit will decrease substantially in the coming years. So this page is done. So the next page, we need to build like inhabitant spaces on the orbit, on the lower orbit. And not many companies are available for investment right now. And actually, so we focused only on one of them, on Axiom Space. So I love this company very much. So they're doing great job. Of course, they have one of the strongest GR resources
Mm-hmm.
because like when you're doing something in space, GR resource cannot be underestimated because all the money comes from NASA, from ESA, and other space agencies. So the next big thing probably will be like production on the orbit. I'm not talking about like big factories which produce steel, yeah, or like
Mm-hmm.
gold or something else. But what I'm talking about, so for example, from biology standpoint, yeah. So if you need to create like retina, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's extremely difficult to build it here on Earth because of the gravity. But there in space, it's easy because you don't have gravity, and layer by layer you can produce it.
Mm. Wow.
The same applied to printing any other organs, like kidneys, liver, whatever. The next thing after this will be to provide enough energy on the orbit, and in parallel, it's going to be like trying to build a sustainable place on Moon and much later on Mars. So yeah, and the other thing, the other branch is such things like like debris management, for example, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
uh, some some kind of smaller problems, but crucial ones. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, there are a lot of companies who just tracking debris. So, and there are some technologies which will help us to remove them from the orbit.
Yeah, so it's a big problem right now. So it's like there is a big, huge waste, right? So like in the space
Right.
and there should be some solutions. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you
like
are
in the
talking about,
problem,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then the problem is that when they get into collision,
Mm-hmm.
so instead of two parts of waste, you have like 10, 20, 30, and
Yeah.
each of them is like extremely dangerous for anything located on the orbit. So, so this side is like more niche, and to be honest, we're just looking at these companies for now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in talks with management. Well, in propulsion systems, a lot of things going on right now. So, and we're also in talks with several companies. The competition there is much higher than, for example, in like building a space station.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about building a space station, there are like only three rivals there, and so it's Blue Origin, so station, which basically don't have anything right now except
Mm-hmm.
something on paper, and Axiom
Mm-hmm.
Space, we're like ready to deploy their first module already in 2026. Yeah, and when we're talking about like building something on the orbit, it is not just a question of can you do it or not, like do you want it or not. It is a
Mm-hmm.
question of national security. You have to be on the orbit. So it's like same like does your army have aviation or don't? Same stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that like you are not like kind of a regular VC, so you have like I can say like deep expertise in this part. So can you also tell us about your successful exits? So about
We're in the
yeah.
process. We're in the
Mm-hmm.
process. Let's say. So we right now trying to exit SpaceX.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in our opinions, this play
Mm-hmm.
it is not well. I will try to explain myself. So this company already worth like 200 billion,
Mm-hmm.
and so to do like another 3x on this
Yep.
company, it needs to become like 400 billion more.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I think they're at the state where it won't be easy to prove this additional 400 billion, like in value addition. I mean, like, so they're not in an easy business. So every time Starship exploding, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 100 millions exploded.
Well,
So
yeah, like ruin it.
it's,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, funny to look at it. They doing great job. So basically they paying for, like their marketing in
Mm-hmm.
such a way. And of course, for uh, engineering breakthroughs, collecting all this data.
Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
400 billion is 400 billion.
Yeah,
and it
that's
won't be
huge.
easy to
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
to comparing it to any other space companies. They much they're like less risk. Let's put it this
mm-hmm.
way. But when you have less risk, you have lower potential yield. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're exiting and looking for something else.
So, and talking about the secondary market and pre-IPO stage saturation. So we know that secondary market for pre-IPO fintech companies or like any like from your deal flow companies has seen both enthusiasm and caution. And what is your current view on the liquidity and investor sentiment in the space? And also, before your VC firm has been considered, so you've been investing into later stage projects, right? So, and you just like a bit change it your philosophy.
Well, say previously we were focused not like on late stage. It was like
Mm-hmm.
literally
Yeah.
pre-IPO projects.
Yeah.
Because at some moment in time, in 2019, 2020, it was kind of an easy play to
Mm-hmm.
buy some high quality company
Yeah.
while it's still private, and just wait until it go public and
Mm-hmm.
make your like 50, 70%,
Yeah.
something like this. Yeah, it's not like easy money, but uh, still. But at some point in time, these things has changed dramatically. So what we saw that company were selling, well, because of huge demand, of course. So this market
Mm-hmm.
started to evolve like super rapid. Uh, at some moment in time, so demand was so high that companies and C-level started to sell their own shares at higher mark, knowing that they will not achieve this valuation on public markets. And of course, we started to invest early, so somewhere starting from Series B plus, but still, it didn't save the value of our portfolio. I mean, like so late stages, like if we're talking about like our previous portfolio in fintech, especially.
Yeah.
So a lot of companies have raised their revenues substantially. Some did like
Mm-hmm.
2x, some did 3x. Some companies, well, I will not name it, but they did like
Mm-hmm.
6. So when we entered, it was like it's 10 million revenue. Now it's 60 million revenue, but the valuation is like 30 percent lower than we entered.
Okay.
Yeah, and well, it has an easy explanation actually. Yeah, so we experienced the most dramatic uh, rate hike during the last 2 years. I believe we can experience uh, something similar, but in the opposite direction. Because if you will look at the latest reports
Mm-hmm.
on U.S. economy, well, it's not impressive at all. So
Yeah, exactly.
ISM
Yeah.
PMI, so everything is like dropping. So probably we're gonna see rapid change in
But
monetary policy.
isn't it opportunity for you as well, just like for the investment when everything is like in a red zone, meaning that you can quickly, I don't know, like invest with like
That's a good point. That's a good point. And what I see, a lot of like LPs in funds, like setting up their own uh, investment companies and just
mm-hmm.
purchasing like every big name which was on fire in 2021, for example, with
Okay.
like 60% discount, 70% discounts. What's my take on it? Well, every, let's say, investment cycle is driven by some particular technologies. And the last one was driven with several of them. Yes, SaaS projects like subscription models, sharing economy, like clouds,
Mm-hmm.
cybersecurity, and also with fintech, various fintechs.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one will be driven, I think, by SpaceTech, synthetic biology, and like gene therapies, target therapies. So everything related to longevity, because that's a big thing. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
why we do all this
Mm-hmm.
investments in the end of the day to live longer and more. And so what you can expect from buying this company, maybe you can do like 2, 3x just on
Mm-hmm.
rebound. But if you want to invest in something which can give you like X and something else, so you need to look at those companies which will drive the next investment cycle. So that's my take on it. I don't want to, like buy lower same companies. So it's better to look at something else.
So, and also really interesting point. So you mentioned about synthetic biology. Do you have any kind of deals related to synthetic biology as well?
Yeah. So we invested in, well, gonna be like, okay, I will say it. So we invested in,
Can you kindly tell for those who, for example, if someone will ask me what is synthetic biology, I cannot maybe give a precise answer, right? I mean, I don't think that anyone, like everyone knows what is about synthetic biology. I know that it's like a field that combines biology, engineering, computer science, etc. Can you just like tell us, like in a kind of a simple words, what is synthetic biology? What kind of
I'm not
problems they are solving?
like a super professional or like professor in this area, but
Like your opinion.
I can tell you. So what are we investing in? For
Mm-hmm.
example, company make like a protection cases for DNA sequences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now to preserve it, you need to have like 3-layer security freezers. Yeah. So in case like lights turned off, you will not lose all this, like data,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, in
Mm-hmm.
form of DNA. So
Okay.
in one company, so they made a technology which can preserve these DNA sequences in the room temperature. So, for
Mm.
example, so
Okay.
that's one thing. So also BMIs, brain machine interfaces. So where we invested in two companies actually.
Mm-hmm.
One is Neuralink, of course. We were trying to get access to a company called Synchron, but those guys they heavily invested by Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. So there is no room for anyone else, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're doing like great stuff. So if Neuralink, for example, they making a hole in the skull and
Yeah.
then placing this chip there. So Synchron going like not an opposite direction, the same direction, but from the other side. So they use veins um, to put chip inside skull. So they go in through veins
Okay.
like
Through
with
the veins. Okay.
through the
Okay.
veins. Yeah. So I don't remember what veins exactly do they use. Like it's like from leg or from neck. But
Okay.
the thing is, so that electrode, so chip basically, is located inside the brain in its vein.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also a great approach and it's less invasive. Well, it is invasive, but it's not a
Mm-hmm.
hole in the skull after all. Yeah.
Would you test it yourself? I mean, if you're gonna have
Uh,
this opportunity, like chip in your
what I
skull.
call like an opportunity or necessity. So that's two big differences. Yeah. So I now I have an opportunity, but I I don't have a necessity to do this, and I will probably not do this. Well, I mean, like that's always like a, let's say like a balance. What you get
Mm-hmm.
from it
Yeah.
and what you can potentially how you can potentially be harmed.
Yeah, because with that, sorry for interruption. With that
Yeah.
Neuralink, the first guy was like totally paralyzed, and it was like necessity for him to test it like this new thing, right? And he
Correct.
has like
Correct.
nothing
So
to lose. Yeah. Uh-huh.
for him that's an opportunity which can like literally bring him back to social life.
Mm-hmm.
So nah, more or less. I mean, but still. So the other guy just started to play Counter-Strike, so a video game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks to this chip, and it's also a big deal. I mean, like so if we will elaborate on this, so if they can play games with this chip,
Mm-hmm.
probably they can get into some kind of virtual reality. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and live their life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, at some point in time. If you Well, honestly, my take on it is that in like 10 to 15 years, so almost everyone will have this chip because you just you just not you don't have competitive advantage if you don't have like fast connection of your biological side with like silicon side. Let's say it
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
this way. And on the labor market, you just won't be competitive if somebody has this chip and has like immediate access to all AI advantages and you don't.
Okay.
But not
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's like really interesting. And also I have heard that like you have like pretty impressive and powerful analytics team, but I know that there is an kind of a human interaction. But as far as now we are moving into world of I can say, do you have also some kind of a thoughts about like uh, embed some AI strategies like to make it even more efficient, like your analytical data?
Well, so we use AI for analytics for sure. So it speed up the processing.
When you are saying we use AI, is it like, is it about, are you talking about ChatGPT?
ChatGPT, Perplexity. So we use model from Anthropic also.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, so it's just speed up the process. Unfortunately, at least for now, you cannot get some deep insights on some
Yeah.
industries. So after all, it's just like a prediction model. Simplifies the process of, like structuring the information, making it more readable for normal person who is not from business. Sorry, I mean, like we're
Mm-hmm.
also normal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we use it also for presentations, all the stuff. So some kind which previously was done by employers.
So you mentioned about so insiders like how to say you cannot get like deeper information or some insights from the market. So meaning that how you're getting those insights? Maybe it's like super
From
not
networking. No. So it's only networking. I mean, like,
yeah.
so the best place where you can get any insights. So first of all, in some universities. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're in deep tech, you
Yeah.
need to be in like a really wide network of people who is like on the edge of technologies. And of course, if you a VC investor, so you need to get a good contact with other VCs because the deals we received were not through our extensive research,
Mm-hmm.
but through like a friendly advice from somebody
Yeah.
you're like getting along with.
Mm-hmm. And also like let's talk about your like investors type, right? So there are actually two type of investors. They have money, but they don't know where to invest. The second one, they know where to invest, right? So are you
But don't have money.
actually, and third one,
That's a
they
sad.
want to invest.
That's a,
Really sad situation. Yeah. So can you actually tell us your type of investors? You actually convince them to choose this kind of and invest into this project, or they know what they want? So what type of how you just like you interact with your investors?
well, let's say best investor for me is somebody who is also into space,
Yeah.
into SpaceTech. So who have his own vision, like
Mm-hmm.
what technologies will be applied. So how the world gonna change. So with the like reading something about like SpaceTech, about how companies were built, so where we're going in this area. And so from some conversations with our current LPs, so I usually get some insight. So
Mm-hmm.
on for stock marketplace, I mean like for public companies already, but still, yeah. And it is not like just making a. So the main purpose of it is of course to make some yield on your money,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like
Yeah.
and yield which is like substantially higher than average which you can get from S&P 500 or Nasdaq. But also, so it is a kind of, like you're voting with your money for some
Mm-hmm.
particular picture of
Yeah.
future. And it's great when you can discuss it. So, because if you're selling only yield, if you're talking only about yield, SpaceTech going to make you like 2 times more money on 5-year horizon than, for example, FinTech.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is not something I want to, like discuss or sell to people. Such offer does not inspire me, and if I'm not as inspired, I cannot fundraise for this.
But
It's much better to talk about, like some huge, like
so, and also, if we're gonna talk about the main role of any VC, is that like at least to sell the projects that you onboarded, right? So like to, I would say, highlight their like super great milestones and sell them. So it's like a sales process. Don't you think so?
Well, everyone is a salesperson, more or less.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you're trying to get a job, you're selling yourself to employee.
No, I think like this. You are either selling or you are bringing value. So you can sell anything, but at the same time you can sell, but also you can bring value, right? So because there are lots of invaluable products on the market as well, and you can sell anything on the market. So this is
Well, yeah, that's correct. So I have an example. So now we have an opportunity to invest more directly in Axiom Space, for example.
hmm
And at the same time, there are some secondary opportunities. So when I'm offering to some investors, there's opportunities. So they say like, oh, I see this on the secondary market, for example, like
yeah.
5% cheaper.
hmm
Okay, but you just cashing out somebody, like, and in the first option, so there is an inflow in the company. So, and they can use this money and to make the difference, like to build something on it. And so it's like shooting yourself in the leg. So when buying in secondary market, so that's why we're
hmm
trying to go primary.
So are you like, is it right that like all your deals that you have in your portfolio, you are just like so entering like directly without like, I would say, any, I mean, so
Now, yes, now we're
mhm,
trying to do this directly, or we can do this indirect in some cases,
mhm,
but participating in primary round. So we can do like a second layer SV, for example, like we did with Kahir, for example. We didn't participate like directly. We're not a cap table, but
yeah.
we were participating in a round. So our money get into the company. So
hmm Yeah. This is like
what
much work. But I see a secondary market is also good. I mean, you can just actually buy and sell your portfolio and just like make it some kind of a diversification, isn't it? Right. I mean,
yeah,
there is a
well, I mean,
market
like
for the secondary market. Yeah.
I'm not against secondary market. I mean, like, so it's gonna be like a silly statement from my side,
Yeah.
but sometimes you just need to like, for example, you don't like the bad companies like moving right now.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
okay, for somebody it's gonna be like a good opportunity to get in, but having two options, one to go direct or the other one to cash out somebody and get in with some discount, I would probably prefer the first one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also, talking about like, did you have 1802 Ventures? So being the one of the co-founders, yeah, of this venture VC firm, can you tell us, did you have any kind of not opportunities, but situations when you missed the market, when you missed the right product, and what kind of lessons
Okay.
did you take out of this?
I would say so. We're too young for this. This fund was made with only one purpose to
Mm-hmm.
benefit from like evolving industry of space tech. So, and I hope we will not miss it. So,
And it's
I think
super tiny. Okay.
we're only at the beginning of this huge technological revolution.
And the main question, if you have an opportunity to fly to the space, would you take this opportunity?
Well, depends on where. Hopefully on Axiom Station in 5 or 7
Yeah.
years. I would love to, of course, so I can send some pictures to somebody who's like stating that Earth is flat. Only for this purpose. Yeah.
Okay. So, and as you are also big traveler, so you're traveling a lot, so giving interviews, etc., and how you're managing your work-life balance as well, and also you have like super vibrant and active Telegram blog, so with more than 30 or 20K subscribers. You're just like sharing your thoughts on this current market trends, but with a main focus on space tech and deep tech, etc. And your recent trip to Tibet, right? So you've been
Oh yeah.
there.
was
Yeah,
the
yeah. So I can see that like by your personality, you're all the time looking for some kind of I'd say explorative adventures, just like to find yourself as a founder, or how is it like I don't know, managing this work-life balance? Because I know that like VC ecosystem is like super, super kind of an aggressive and I can say stressful. Yeah, because there are lots of investors. They're gonna ask lots of questions once they're gonna invest into those projects, right? I don't think that everything is like super perfect. All the investors are like kind of super happy. So yeah,
well, yeah, especially after 2022 and 2023.
yes.
Um, yeah, well, the work-life balance is like a big question. Yeah, I'm not managing it like really good. I must improve it. Yeah, that's what my wife's saying. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but
No, I mean, like, do you have some kind of like routine? I don't know, you're just to wake up
of
at
course,
6
yeah,
a.m., sports, blah blah blah.
I'm
Like,
usually waking up at 7 a.m. Yeah, going to gym
mhm.
first of all, then checking mails and all the like stuff. The well, once or two times a year, I'm trying to go somewhere. Like for 5 to 10 days, switch off the phone just to think about everything and to look at industries we're investing in, like from outside of the box, let's say. Because when you're inside, so
Yeah.
it's sometimes difficult to understand like the bigger picture. So too much information going through. Yeah. So that's not a perfect recipe, I suppose. I think many people doing much better than me in this work life stuff, but it is how it is. I mean, like, so we uh, just just set up another business. Like a brokerage firm. Yeah, now it takes
Yeah, I heard
like
about it.
90%.
Like new venture brokerage firm. This is the new license that you got, and now you can actually sell like on the secondary market, right? Or you can also
Well,
do a
yeah,
IPOs.
that's a classical brokerage firm.
Mm-hmm.
We can help companies to become public, so we can issue bonds for them, like to support their like balance sheet, for example. Also, we can help them with many things actually. And so to our B2C clients, so we just provide access to as they ignite,
So
so any other
actually,
stuff.
actually, I think that this is so cool. You are nurturing your own projects, and then you can actually, I mean, like serve them on that in that sense as well. So like as a brokers, right?
Yeah, I mean, like not every company needs to be funded by VC
Mm-hmm.
because like the main reason why it should be like additional value VC can bring. For example,
Yeah.
if you have, for example, rental car company and it's growing,
Mm-hmm.
so you made
Yeah.
it like operational, it's super.
Yeah.
Why do you need a VC? Why do you need a fund? So who will negotiate with you and trying
Mm-hmm.
to lower their entry price? So you can just go to like a proper company who will help you go public at higher valuation to get more money and to deploy this money into your business. With at higher valuation, you will basically receive like 2 times more money or 3 times more money than you can get
Mm-hmm.
VCs. And yeah, sometimes it's a better way for companies. If you're
And
not like,
yeah, how many projects you already, I mean, companies you already onboarded and helped successfully for them, just like to monetize their operational business?
we just started. So one company is going to go public in the end of August. The other one will go public, I believe, in November. And in
Mm-hmm.
February we have two. And with the other one, so it's like musical brand company, not like musical brand. Let's say brand management and music company.
Okay.
This company is about to go public in the end of next August. So we just started the
Amazing. And how you're handling this with the regulatory framework? I know that it's now becoming super complicated for all of the, brokerage firms like fintechs, banks, etc. So,
well, there's two businesses. They are like separated. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So one thing is venture capital firm, the other one is brokerage firm. But as long as you do all the necessary disclosures, so before helping companies to go public, so it's
And you have the capability to place them on the major stock exchanges, right?
yeah, now that nice. We
Okay.
have partners
Yeah.
for doing this.
hmm That's amazing. Congrats on this new venture. So, and also I saw that the recent company, it's called Linkfire. Uh,
Yeah, so
you
that's
announced it.
exactly the one I'm talking about. So we're planning to help them go
hmm
public next year. Right?
This is one. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And okay. And how do you envision this 1802 ventures within like 5 years? What is your like perfect scenario? I mean, for this.
Oh, perfect scenario. My dream is to become kind of like that 1802 gonna become like a benchmark. So like in space tech industry investment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like uh, like when Sequoia is getting into some company, so there is a line of other funds who is willing to
Yeah.
yeah, do the same. But in general, I mean, like I just want this company, Ultra Ventures, to help as much startups as possible to like do some brilliant stuff in space tech and to help humanity to become interplanetary.
Okay, now I can see like more and more founders and entrepreneurs who are like more kind of, I would say, they are choosing the project and directions with a philanthropic element. So is it like maybe I don't know, there's a shift after COVID as well, shift. So after COVID. So
Okay.
and I mean people now became like more humane, I can say so. And before creating something, the first is like impact on humans, right? Like kind of a philanthropic view. This is like pretty amazing actually. Yes.
Well, that's true. I see it also, but sometimes it goes from necessity, not from heart. Let's say it this way. So sometimes people trying to save some cash on taxes, yeah, because of philanthropy and all this stuff. In general, yeah. So people becoming more conscious. That's what I see, and that's great.
And what can you yeah. Yeah, please go ahead.
I mean, like, because after all, money is just a resource, and the true value lays in, like people relationships. So when you can help somebody, it's better to do this.
Yeah, that's amazing. Also, the can you kindly tell us top three projects globally that you are following and that you are really passionate about, like apart from your like projects that you already invested, so startups that you already invested.
Why apart?
Okay,
There is some
I
reason why we invested.
okay, okay, yeah, there will be an exception. Tell us, yeah, top three
Uh,
projects.
well, I would say that top three projects. The first one is Neuralink, I think.
hmm Yeah, I'm also following it.
The other one is Axiom Space, and I think XAI is going to become crucial also. I can explain because I
XCI,
think that XAI, so the one the Musk
XI,
has
okay.
just
hmm
'cause I think that's like a perfect match, so like the last block in his empire.
hmm
Because when you have all the data from all these Teslas, from Twitter, well, from X, not Twitter, kind of, and so and he's preparing all this, like production facilities for Optimus robots. So I'm just thinking that setting up his own like AI company with this, like basic language model. So
hmm
it's gonna be great because like perfect match. You're taking all this data, so you like producing this artificial intelligence
hmm
core, and
Yeah,
then you put it into robots, and then you're selling it, and so I see how it could change the world.
that's amazing. Yeah. And also in terms of making business and nurturing your startups and making money, I can say, what is the best geographic location for you and
Depends on
why?
industry. If it is, if
I
it is
mean, if we're gonna take your industry, so you have to be closer to US market, right?
for space tech, yeah, it's only United States, and like for 10 to 15%, it's European market.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some like difficulties. Let's put it this way. just like infrastructure for growing your startup. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
tech perspective. Not
And my last question is about like a really buzzing topic about crypto. What can you say about
fun.
crypto? And I saw that you don't have any kind of projects that is related to crypto. And what is the main reason and your opinion about it?
I think that crypto will, um, let's say, will be a big part of our life in upcoming future in like various scenarios. Let's say so, DeFi,
Mm-hmm.
all this, like potential central bank currencies,
Yeah.
digital currencies. For me, I think it's now in such moment in time when regulation is coming in, like,
Yeah.
and it's like huge additional risk which you need to take into consideration when you invest in some crypto project. Because if it's going to be like super successful, it's going to be regulated.
Yeah.
So and
Anyways.
it can devastate this business model.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like
Anyways, there will be a super strict and huge consolidation on the market, right? I mean,
correct.
so
Yeah, I
with
agree.
this upcoming
Yeah.
regulations.
Well,
Okay, that's yeah.
mhm.
Sorry, because the
Oh,
connection is a bit bad. Sorry.
okay, okay, okay. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. You wanted to say something.
No, I already forgot about it. So yeah,
Okay. Okay, so Gregory, it was really nice talking with you. Thanks for being with us on Financial IT. Gregory Trubkin, who is the co-founder of 1802 Ventures, and they newly released their new ventures brokerage firm as well. We just like congrats on this launch, and I really hope that like someday I'm gonna just switch my TV on or just like YouTube on and it will be an announcement. Gregory Trubkin is so flying to the space.
without a rocket, without a rocket, just like this, hands up.
Yeah, in like couple of years. Yeah. So and I really hope that yes, you will do it. And I'm gonna just like so
Yeah.
I will be one of your so dear how to say dearest fans. So yeah.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for being with us and stay tuned. I hope that we'll just see you in our upcoming podcast as well with new advancements and so news in the space tech industry.